Welcome to episode 1 of season 2 at Union Berlin. We have some money to spend and we have every intention on spending it and increasing the amount of money we've got available with a number of sales as well. So do keep your eyes peeled and rack your brains for any suggestions you may have. We are looking to improve the squad at striker, in central midfield and at centre-back initially. Depending on how much money we've got left after those 3 signings have been made, depends on what we do with the rest of the money in other positions in the squad. But initially, starting striker, Martial drops to the bench. Starting centre mid, Kral will drop to the bench. Starting centre back, Toussaint will drop to the bench. Going to improve through the core of the team, and then we'll look to maybe improve on Goossens or Juranovic out wide on top of that moving forward. You want to know what money we've got to spend? More than I expected. 64 million euro is available to us at the moment, and we have intentions of adding to that by selling a number of players that have come back to us from loan that we've no intention of using. So Torsby, Skarka, Endo, Laiduni, Grill, Pushaz, Solbach and Kaufmann, Schäfer, Dale, Laverling, Kemline and Stein are all going to be moved on. We will, if we get just valuation for everybody on that list, we'll earn ourselves over 100 million euro on our budget. We've got money to spend, and we're going to have a decent chunk of it too, so we can afford quality. Unfortunately, we are Europa League only this season, despite the fact that Leverkusen won the Champions League last year and finished in a despite the fact that Leverkusen won the Europa League last year and earned a Champions League spot via winning that. They finished in the top 4 in the Bundesliga, but we don't know where that Champions League spot has gone. We just know that it's not gone to me, unfortunately. So it is what it is. It's not to worry. We're saying thank you to Framed Adam. We're saying thank you to Fletcher Jet and Harry Curtis for your continued support in the YouTube comment section as well. Thank you everyone that's gone across and subscribed to Chesnoid Live to watch the YouTube live streams. I appreciate that very much indeed. Of course, if you're continually watching on Twitch, thank you for that as well. It means the world to me. So we have a bigger squad than we did because we've had some loanees come back, but we're selling the majority of them on again. We're also going to move on Laiduni as well. And Kral is going to drop to the bench, Toussaint to the bench, Martial to the bench, and we're going to improve through the middle of the squad. At the moment, these are the names I have on my shortlist. I'll give you guys a rundown at the end of the transfer window, what the deal is with the Patreon players. Some of them have bugged because good game. So, unfortunately, 13 of you, I believe, have bugged. Which is a pain in my backside, but you're still moving clubs, so we can still track your career in terms of your career path, but your rating, I'm not sure of, and you're 2024 years old, so apologies about that. The game's made really well. Thankfully, we've added, in addition to being in-game on FC, we've added you guys in-game on Football Manager as well, so there is extra added value to the VIP on the Patreon, and we will be extensively testing before doing the new save. We had no issues with the Chelsea save, so we dove straight into this one, and now they're bugged. So it is what it is. With regards to the players we've got on my shortlist at the minute, not many at centre-back, just Diamande, Lindelof and Ake. I'm scouting a few more, but do keep your suggestions coming for those positions. When it comes to players that I have on the shortlist, I've loads of centre-mids. I ideally like someone that's more defence-minded, that is either a CDM by default that could be moved to centre mid, or a centre mid that could be moved slightly deeper and will work well in a deeper role. So we've got, I'll take a deep breath here because it's quite the long list. Yves Basuma, Samuel Ritchie, Ugarte I'm not sure about at the minute. I think he plays for PSG, so I'm probably going to lean away from that one. Lucas Torreira, Amadou Onana, Zambo Anguissa, Florentino, Zubamendi, Sangare, McSauce, Al Mazrati. Ruben Neves is one that I'm not sure about. Very highly rated, obviously. Could probably garner a Champions League move, but is still in Saudi. So let me know what you think of that one. Sami Lokonga, Boubacar Kamara, Nico Gonzalez. Max Vifa, Zaniolo. That's more for striker, actually, changing him to a forward player. Arsnes, Fred, Gabri Vega, Mendes, Kakare, Joe Willock. Newcastle finished 10th in the Premier League last season, so Joe Willock is a goer. If Sven Botman wasn't 85 rated, I might have gone for him at centre-back as well, but he's probably slightly too good. Joey Fearman, Illich, Felix and Mesha. Now, Dortmund are in the Europa Conference League this season, so maybe some players might be having itchy feet and wanting to move out. Sergi Dada, Amadou Haidara, not first team at Leipzig, I don't believe, at least not very regularly. They finished second in the league last year and bottled the title. Serrano, Oyarzabal to move more than likely to striker outside of a centre mid role. Lorenzo Pellegrini to move back a bit. Roma finished 5th in Serie A last season and will be Europa League this year. Now for the striking role, Joao Felix, probably beyond the realms of possibility at the minute. Raspadori, not sure. Like I say, Napoli finished 6th last year and are in the Europa Conference League. Marcus Edwards, I'm unsure about because he's 5'6". I don't think I'm really going to like him at striker, but if you guys are keen, then you're keen. Myron Boadu. We also have at striker options of Artem Dovbyk, Evan Nielsen, Beto, Vasquez, Boulay Dia, Salernitana, 83 rated, standout candidate. Mateus Cunha. Matthijs Tel has just moved to City, but we could maybe loan him, perhaps. Jurgen Strand-Larsen. Santiago Jimenez is always up there as an option as well. And the final one was Dennis Bouanga to maybe move to striker. He's got a lot of play styles, Bouanga. I don't know anything about him, but finesse shot, power shot, technical flair, quick step, trivela, and acrobatic make him potentially a curveball signing. Oh, dearie me. With regards to the calendar, in Germany, the league doesn't start till very late. So we'll get through the pre-season tournament today, but it's going to be a shorter episode 1 because I want to make sure I've got enough time to scout everybody that you want me to look at, because you guys are obviously going to have more recommendations on top of what's already on my shortlist. You've seen the players I've got looking to be sold. Roma are immediately interested in Laiduni, and I could get up to 16.4 or maybe a better deal on top of that. Now, lots of people bid for Laiduni last year, and I wasn't sure about selling him. I wasn't overly sure this year, but he put in a transfer request because he didn't get enough football last year, so that kind of made that decision for me. And they're not keen on paying much more than the 14.7 they've already bid. So I'll try and eke a little bit more out of them, but they're playing hardball here, Roma, and it's early doors in the transfer window. So if they don't agree something above 16, which they ultimately have, then I would be willing to wait for someone else. But 16 million, 16.5 million will do for now, and we'll look to sell others on. Sporting are interested in Vifa. I don't know anything about him yet. We're still waiting on that scout report, so we'll wait and see on that regard. Players that are valued anywhere between and up to 5 or 6 million, it's not worth negotiating an extra 2 or 3,000 or 100,000. It's not going to make any difference in the grand scheme of things. Now, Inter Milan should be able to pay a little bit of extra cheddar, shouldn't they? So we'll see if we can squeeze them. Serie A champions last year, Inter Milan, but they too seem rather reluctant to spend any money. Come on now. You're a big boy club. Spend some big boy pennies so that this smaller club can potentially start to compete with those bigger boys, please. Nope. They don't want to pay the 17 million. Suit yourselves, you can go to Roma. Interest in Joao Felix from Bayern Munich. Mallorca are interested in Kevin Folland? No. He will continue on for us this season. He's 31, so he's probably not going to grow too much more. But as we say goodbye to Laiduni and his wispy beard, he's off to Roma for 16.5 million. Transfer budget boosted. Tar very much. I got a B for that. Happy enough. Happy enough with a B for Laiduni. Now then, Holobash is a player we're going to look to move. No, Holobash is a player I'm actually keeping because we're looking to sell Jamie Laveling. Now, you won't need to sell his house because it's Hertha Berlin that have come in for him. Our local city rivals recently promoted from the league below last year. Now, Jamie is half decent at 75 rated and probably has some potential, but we're looking for higher quality right now. I cannot afford to wait for him to grow. But Hertha don't want to pay the money, but as a rival club, I was going to try and squeeze every last penny out of them. They are unwilling to play ball. Torsby's gone to Toulouse. That's another £4 million added to the €4 million, sorry, added to the budget. Lovely. A rating for that one. You love to see it. Any more bids for Lyduni, perhaps? A bid for Grill for £1.75 million. Go on, son, off you go. A swap deal for Luka Sučić is intriguing. Obviously, I'm not looking to sell him, but they're offering me a 76 rated Lasana Koulibaly as well as £23.5 million. No, Salernitana. But I may well be giving you some money for your striker. He's certainly one of the most important players on that shortlist at the moment. I don't want a swap deal, thank you. No, just go away. Another bid for Leveling. It's West Ham this time. Premier League sides have got money, and a lot of it. So I will be quite bullish with West Ham here. I want good money, please. Nobody really seems that keen to pay decent money for Leveling. I would like a really good fee, and this is West Ham's final offer. You say that, but will you pay 2 million more? They won't. I'm surprised that no one's willing to pay decent dosh. Now, Juve... I have to negotiate with Juventus. Napoli I felt happy enough turning down, especially after they finished 6th. Juve a Champions League. I would want a significant fee for my highest rated centre-back that was a star last year. And if they don't pay anything over 35, I'm sorry Allegri, you're not having him. I am quite within my rights to play hardball here for a good fee. They've offered 35. I'm going to have to accept it. We're going to want 2 centre-backs, please. 2 centre-backs for this season. Dookie is on his way. I am gutted about that because he was rock solid. But that has to happen, really. I can't deny Dookie that move to Champions League Juventus. Pretty sure Juve Champions League was Inter Milan from AC Milan in Serie A last year. Juve, I think, were 3rd or 4th and get the Champions League because Roma were 5th and Napoli were 6th. And if Juve were lower than 6th, I would have remembered. Dale, another bid for a fringe player. We'll take those pennies and run, thank you. Right. Getting even more complicated. Arsenal want Diogo Leite. We are getting stripped of our best assets. It reckons that I can get 33.3 million or more. We are potentially going to end up with an entire new defence this year. Again, I would very much like, and he's a year younger as well, I would very much like 38 million or more, please. You're going to have to negotiate here, Mikel, because I'm not going to let my... I'm already selling one centre-back for a fee. No, I'm sorry, 26.6 million. If that's their final offer, they're not having him. I want over 35, same as the other one. If they won't pay it, I'm not selling. I'm open to selling if a big club comes in, but they have to pay the fee. I'm not just selling for the sake of selling and doing myself a disservice with the fee. 35 million for Danilo Dookie. He leaves to go to Juventus. We need 2 new centre-backs. So, just as well, you guys are going to get your suggestions in before we reach the first game of the domestic season, because, well, I'm going to need quite a few players, aren't I? That's Lorenz Dale on his way. The transfer budget is racking up, but the squad is racking down. With regards to objectives, for those that were curious this year, youth objective, meh. Brand exposure, 5 clean sheets in home matches in a row. Intriguing. Signed 2 Germans. That we could certainly do. Long-term goal we'll get. Quarter-final of the Pokal. And, again, top 4 in the league. And reach the group stage of the Europa League says to me that we're in a qualification round. But finishing 5th in the league surely is automatic progression through to the group stage in the Europa League. So I am slightly intrigued and perplexed by that. Quite happy to let these guys go though for seemingly minimal fees. They're certainly minimal compared to the sort of fees we've been getting for our centre-backs. But more players going out, more money coming in, but where are we going to spend it? Okay, I panicked a little bit when I saw that it was a release clause met, but for a player that I've got on the transfer list, suits me down to the ground. Yerkel stays, thank you. He's going to be a good squad centre-back to keep at the club. But certainly at the minute, he's a starting centre-back because I'm running out of centre-backs because people keep picking them off. Napoli have bid 23.7 for Gersons. I am happy. Am I happy to reject that? Not from a realism point of view, but from a can we do better in that position point of view. I'm quite happy to reject Napoli because they finished 6th last year. But if I can get up to 30 plus million for a player that is 30 years of age and very much replaceable, do I take the opportunity? We've got a lot of players on the way out, and he is still growing, Goosens. So I would perhaps try and maximise the deal here, but I'm not just going to, again, let a first teamer go cheap. And it seems that Napoli are very much willing to negotiate. YouTube comments section. We're going to have a lot of transfer business to do in the next episode because I need a new left wing back as well. Oh my lord. It is going crazy right now. I'm going to do Haidara scout report. He's only 79 rated. He's not that good. It's going to be a real turnaround of playing staff that we weren't expecting. But it keeps things interesting from your point of view. With 10 plus player sales and probably 7 or 8 incomings as well, as Robin Gersons is confirmed as going to Napoli. His transfer window is turning into quite the upheaval. Tottenham were outside of the European spots, yes. Wolfsburg have offered me 18.1. Now, for a team that's in my division, I would want a bit more of a fee, please. So if you'll pay upwards of 21, you can have him. They'll pay 23. Banging. I mean, it's West Ham, so I should probably be open to this, but I'll negotiate. And if they pay his release clause, they can have him, and I'll look for 2 left backs. But you are going to have to pay his release clause, which is 11 odd million euro. You pay his release clause, he's yours. I'm not selling him for anything other than his release clause. Not after having lost Gersons as well. 10.5. I won't sell him for anything less than 8 figures. No. Sorry, David Moyes. Not happening. Bye. Bloody hell, I really am getting picked apart. Liverpool in for Toussaint. A squad player for us would be no more than a squad player for them. If I can get a fee, if I can get an agreeable fee, yes, you can have him. But with the way that we've been picked apart already this season... Oh, okay, I thought for a minute they were just going to pay 38.5. With the way that I've been picked apart this season, I'm just going to reject that and hope that he goes to Wolfsburg. I'm starting to get my back up a little bit about potential fees for even more first-team players going. 3-2 win against Tenerife. That's a solid pre-season for us. 3 wins, I think, in those 3 games. And to be fair, it was only like 2.5 million euro. 2.6 million euro. Wow, we are flooded with cash. To be fair, we are flooded with cash, but only because we've sold everybody in my bloody team. 166 million euro in my budget. Should we spend some of it in the next episode? I think we should. I have narrowed down a couple of favourites from the scout reports I've gotten so far. They are as follows. Boulaidi is still my favourite for striker. 27 years of age. Quick but not lightning, game-breaking fast. Can jump very well, actually. Great strength, great ball control and finishing. Not so good in the pass, but that we could maybe train. Boulaidi looks strong. Sergio Dada isn't necessarily a favourite, but at 83 rated, yes, he's 30, but at 83 rated, can play anywhere through the middle. Loads of playstyle pluses, but loads of playstyles. And technically is just really, really, really good. Slightly expensive for a 30-year-old, but doable. Elsewhere, other favourites were Yves Bissouma from Tottenham, 82 rated. Block, intercept and flair would just be a midfield enforcer for us. Tottenham finished outside of a European spot last year in the Premier League. I'd be tempted to sign Ali El Masrati and change him to a centre-back. 28. Definitely got time left in the legs. Ball playing centre-back. Bruiser. Anticipate, which is what Thiago Silva has and was one of the best play styles to have for a centre-back. That intrigues me. Florentino intrigues me as well as a potential central midfielder. Although, there was also... Santiago Jimenez, by the way, has gone to Real Madrid. Sad. That's no longer an option. Joe Willock intrigues me too. About valuation we could get him for as well. Newcastle 10th in the Premier League last year. Joe Willock would be very good. So is Joey Fearman, and he has all the play styles to go with as well. So, maybe Joey Fearman is like a younger... whatever his face was at Mallorca. Sergi Dada. He's kind of like a younger Sergi Dada. Fearman, because he's not rapid, but technically is really good in the pass. Alsnes actually looks very good as well. And can play in a number of different positions, but he is 28 and only 80 rated. Actually, it's not the 28 that's that much of an issue, really. He's only 80 rated, and I don't know how much more he'd grow. But as a usable squad player, could be very good. And again, not that expensive. Cunha wasn't that great, unfortunately. Were there any other favourites in here? Not really now. A couple... Aleppo I need to remove. Matthias Tell I'm quite happy to loan if I need to get a striker, but I don't think so at this moment in time. So, they are the options. Oh, Joao Felix has gone to Bayern Munich as well, by the way, so he's out. We weren't really going to go for him anyway, but he's definitely gone now. So, what do you think? YouTube comment section. What do you think? I've got a lot of money available to me. I have more money probably coming in for Jamie Laveling. We've accepted a £22 million bid from Girona and a £23 million bid from Wolfsburg. So we're getting at least another 20 million added to the shortlist. Garka keeps turning everybody down, and Solback, and I haven't had any bids for yet, but there's more money to come there. I've only got 18 players in my squad at the minute, though. So, thankfully, the German season doesn't start until the end of August. But at the minute, that team is looking less than competitive compared to how it was when we started this episode. So, new signings, please! I got pennies, but I'm not going to sign the world's best because we are Europa League only. But certainly, up to about 83, maybe the odd 1 or 2 84/5 rated players we could justify, depending on who they are and where they're coming from. Like maybe Ruben Neves, etc. We'll wait and see what you guys say. But that is going to be all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on more. And hit me up in those comment sections because I am going to need them. I'll see you next time.